5-second board is shown to the drivers then. Red lights go on for 15 minutes of racing. Out they go, and a pretty even start by the two on the front. If anything, it's Jack Kingsbury that's made slightly the better getaway. Lewis Richardson in the number 7 car is also pretty well away in the 182s. He's trying to squeeze up on the inside of Jan Whittaker. Pete O'Connor's gone backwards a little bit there in the number 72 car, the reigning champion from 2024. So off they go down through Dentons and towards Cascades for the first time. And it is Kingsbury from the outside of the front row then that's made the best of the starts. Second is Ransom at the moment, and I think at the moment third is Matt Hipkins in the number 12 car there. There we can see the number 18 car, that is, I think, of Mark Witherington. He's right in the middle of the pack, but they sweep left through Island Bend for the first time down to the shallow hairpin, and it's still Kingsbury that leads from Ransom in second, and they can see in fourth place Lewis Richardson in the first of the 182s. He's in fourth place overall.
One of them absolutely walloped the curb at Island Bend, which really did unsettle it then heading through the continuation of that left-hander. But it's all about the outside row, wasn't it? Both for Jack Kingsbury on the outside of the front row, and Matt Hipkins almost was able to follow the number 3 car through. But Hipkins is the second blue car on the road. Separating the two then, the pole position man, Darren Ransom, with some work to do. And also, as you mentioned, heavily delayed the green, orange and white car of Peter O'Connor, so benefiting from that difficult start for the Bristolian, although with Irish heritage, Lewis Richardson, who's now running in fourth position. Again, plenty of grass for 1 or 2 coming out of Knickerbrook. These Clios bouncing around. I think tyre temperature is still trying to get there within the operating window, so a lot of loose rear end for 1 or 2 of them, including the grey car turning in now just ahead of number 14 at Druids.
And good to see the 14 car out there. That is Jack McConnell, who was off in the barriers in race 1. He's been cleared to race by the medics and the scrutineers, driver and car, in race number 2. So it'll be interesting to see how far up the order he can get. Top 2 broken away here a little bit. Kingsbury and Ransom. And then it's Hipkins, Whittaker, Richardson in 5th. The best of the 182s. He's just been passed by Pete O'Connor now, and that means we've got the 2 182 leaders together as well, because the car right behind him is the orange car of Mark Ridout, number 92. So he's right in there as well. Mark, who's done some racing in the Hyundai Coupes as well in the past, now switching to the Clios and challenging Lewis Richardson there for the lead amongst the 182s. Just in behind last year's 182 champion, Pete O'Connor, as they make their way through Ireland.
4 absolutely together, and they're all queuing up. So this is poised nicely now into Shell Oils. Not that you'll necessarily go for a move there. It's sort of a single racing line through the banked turn, but getting a good exit out of there. Having said that, 2 abreast, of course, further behind, just outside the top 10, I reckon. Jack Kingsbury trying to make a break then, having got the better of Darren Ransom at the start of the race. They were separated by, well, about 1/10 of a second, so there really wasn't anything between them in the, was that second fastest qualifying times?
Fastest race lap times from race 1.
Okay, so be quick in race 1, you get a good position in race 2, and not surprising to see Darren and Jack right up there. But it is Lewis Richardson, the rear bumper being nibbled at there by Mark Ridout's car. And that's the cue that I'd identified going into Ireland. So it's a 16-wheeled Clio heading up Clay Hill and on towards Druids.
Okay, so up towards Druids now then. Lewis Richardson was at the head of that group. Whether he'll still be there, well, he is, with Mark Ridout behind him. They've got the 2 more modern cars just behind them as well. Ridout now trying to get alongside Richardson as they head down the straight in towards Lodge Corner, but he's not been able to do anything with that. So it's Lewis Richardson, the 20-year-old from Milton Keynes, a motorsport technician at Palmer Sport down there at the Bedford Autodrome. Been racing now for a couple of seasons, also been on the spanners for his dad over the years as well. He's in Team Fusemetrics SR Motorsport prepared car. There's 55, which is Justin Griffiths just in behind him as well, and he's made up a little bit of grid. Jack McConnell, by the way, news of him, he's back up to 16th place, having had to start the race, of course, from the very back. And it looks like he's got some plastic film of some description there where the rear windscreen was previously. There's Pete O'Connor. He's now challenging for third place. Jan Whittaker it is in the 297 car, the driver from Nottinghamshire, just ahead of him.
So Griffiths got the jump on the car ahead of him at the start of this lap, Mark Aynott. So those two switch positions coming out of Old Hall Corner. And now all of a sudden Griffiths has clear line of sight on the Mark Ridout car. Snaking their way through Britain's the two leaders. And it is a couple of clear-ish leaders now ahead of Matt Hipkins. Although maybe they're about equidistant actually. Now there is a slight advantage for the top two. Maybe another car length back to the third position car of Matt Hipkins. Remember from the race one lap times, O'Connor should be ahead of the second blue car on the road, but Pete O'Connor struggling to get by the Jan Whittaker car up ahead. Ooh. And now there's a big issue for 316, which has found the camera position down at Knickerbrook, Ian. Yeah, it's an unusual place to go off. That's Mark Enoch that's gone off there, the man from Cheltenham. 28-year-old, works in furniture sales, and he has managed to nose into the barriers there. Very unusual place to go off. Didn't exactly see how that happened. He's part of the VSG racing team as well, as is Jan Whittaker, of course. He's the MD, moving in third place still. Leaders over the line. There was potentially more drama at Druids there with the half yellow, half blue car, that classic Renault livery going wide, and I wasn't sure whether another one had fallen off at the double right-hander or whether it was that car causing all the dust. It might have been 31 actually just going over the line now, which is still in the race. Chris Page. Did Chris lose time on that lap? 2:10, yeah, so he was about 3 or 4 seconds slower than, well, certainly a lot slower than the pace out front from Kingsbury. Look at these two. These are the two leaders in the 182s. Lewis Richardson against Mark Ridout. These have been the men to beat so far this season. And they're nose to toe, right on the limits of adhesion through the left-hand sweeper at Island. There's Kingsbury still in the overall lead of the race. There's Ransom. And then Hipkins third, fourth and fifth, Whittaker and O'Connor together. And then the next two, the 182 leaders. They're all going to be heading into a yellow flag zone before much longer, because Mark Enoch has gone off down at Knickerbrook, as we've said. But in the meantime, they still can race for a little bit longer at least, and it's well worth watching this. Oh, we do now have the safety car, though. So with 7.5 minutes to go, safety car is called. I presume that's because of the Enoch car. We also did not have to review that from Chris Lawrence. He said you saw a yellow and blue car in trouble, and yeah, he's pulled off of Britain's. In fact, that's what's happened to him. But it is the 316 car of Enoch that I think has brought about this safety car period. It was a yellow fronted car, right, and of course I've seen a half yellow, half blue, so sort of automatically thought it was that one, but I reckon it was Chris Page who just went wide at Druids, kicked up the dust. He came through with a 2 minutes 10, and the car ahead of him on the road 2:07. So yeah. Well, there is there is the Lawrence car, and I've sort of put the commentator's curse on that car, not intentionally, let me assure you, Chris. Okay, well, we've got the safety car, I presume it's waiting for them on the exit of Old Hall. That's usually where it would wait for the cars. There it is. But already Jack Kingsbury has brought them into good order and slowed the pack down. He's seen the safety car boards. He'll have no doubt seen Mark Enoch's car off the circuit as well, and will realise what this is for, why we have this this caution period. The question is going to be, how much more racing time do we get in this race, because there's 6 minutes and change left to go. Behind the safety car, a lap is roughly 3 minutes, so it's going to be touch and go whether we get much more racing out of this, I think, Johnny, but we hope we do. Well, we've already had more than we had earlier on, because it's about half of the race that was denied us because of an early safety car within that. So it's the ultra-rare Volkswagen Clio that leads them round. Don't mention a rival brand, but a very smart car nevertheless from the 750 Motor Club. And let's hope that, having seen far too much of this car in race 1 for the VSG Crypto Clio Sport Championship, it's a reasonably quick clear up. The problem is there are 2 cars to be recovered, I suppose, and it also depends on how firmly the Enoch car is in the rector barriers. I think it is barrier rather than a tyre wall down there.
If they can, I think if they can just get round the corner from where it is, hopefully, there's a sort of, they can't get it off the road, but if the marshals could get it there, then that might work.
True.
Out of harm's way.
Yep.
We'll have to wait and see what it is that they're trying to do in terms of trying to sort that car out down there. They're making their way through Britain's at the moment under safety car conditions. Reminder, it was number 3 Jack Kingsbury leading, number 30 Darren Ransom in second place, 12 Matthew Hipkins was third, going very well here, 4th was 297 Jan Whittaker, 5th 72 Pete O'Connor, and then our 2 Class A leaders having a great ding-dong fight, Lewis Richardson number 7 and Mark Ridout number 92. Then it was Justin Griffiths, Nick Harrison, Jerry DePrato rounding out the top 10. There's the we're looking down towards Hislops and Knickerbrook now. You've spotted a Marshall on the circuit.
Yeah, well, that's indicative to me that they're still dealing with the Mark Enoch car. So you're thinking that you park it on driver's right immediately after the Marshall post at Knickerbrook?
That's not what I was thinking, but that would work as well, probably, if they can get it there.
It just needs to be somewhere where it can't be found by another car.
Yeah, it looks like they've got the recovery truck on scene. Just a brief glimpse of that as they... the camera panned around, so I think they've got a recovery truck to try and move it, in which case they will just take it onto the infield, I would think, if they can. We've got 3 minutes 40 seconds to go, and
safety car drivers doing a very good job here, just driving as slowly as possible, but we're at the point now where the lights would need to be going out, and it would be unsafe to allow them to start racing because there's still that flatbed within the confines of Knickerbrook, so it's going to be one more.
Yeah. Well, what you'll probably find now is if they do manage to clear the circuit, the safety car will accelerate now compared to the lap time it's done on this lap to try and make sure they do get it round for the next one. I can see a medical car has arrived, which possibly has brought the driver maybe into... Was it going out onto the circuit, possibly? That's possibly what's going on. There's a medical car now heading out onto track, one of the Hyundais. So the fact that that's heading out onto the circuit does not bode terrifically well at this stage. Hopefully everybody is okay and is... in good order, but possibly the officials down there, the marshals down there, just a bit concerned that Mark Enoch has had a bit of a bang into the barriers there, and just making sure he's all okay after that. But he'll be in good hands with the rescue crew there and the marshals down there and the medical car along the way. So we have, I think we do have a replay of that. Let's see if we do. We can have another look at something from earlier on in the race. So here we are. So we're watching the other cars head off up to... And there, Mark Enoch just arrived. We didn't see how he got there. Right into the recticel barriers, just at the foot of Knickerbrook. I'm not quite sure how he got there, really, Johnny.
No, and he'd been running just ahead or behind the Ridout car from memory.
Yeah.
So, I mean... You can easily make contact with another car as you go from one side of the track to the other. You know, it's the inside for Hislops, and then you've got to come out naturally wide, but then take the outside route into Knickerbrook. And if there was just a bit of overlapping, he's come off and straight on quite early on. If you look at the state of the wheel tracks through the grass over the straight liney bit of Knickerbrook, which is used on the Foster circuit. That's the original circuit before the Hislop chicane was added, and then almost at unabated speed gone into the recticel barrier. But the car's no longer there, so the medical vehicle obviously being scrambled for some reason, and any news we get on that we will let you know. But unfortunately, with the last racing lap behind the safety car at a 3 minutes 50, I fear this is the final tour.
Yeah, only 50 seconds to go now, and even at racing speed, they'd struggle to get back here in time for another lap. So I suspect we'll see the checkered flag at the end of this lap. I think also it's likely that the barrier down there at Knickerbrook will need to be checked as well after that impact with the barriers. It's probably not a barrier that's hit you terribly often, that one. Certainly our camera operator there will have had a face full of Clio. Hopefully they're all right as well. So it looks like, because we are 13 seconds away from the end of the race now, we are going to get a checker flag, which has meant that both of the Clio races today have been rather rudely interrupted by the safety car, with a lot of running under caution, and only probably 7 racing laps across the 2 races, really, which has been a bit of a shame for the VSG Crypto Clio Sport Championship, because it does provide very entertaining racing, and certainly it was going to be a good fight, I think, for the honours in the 182s there between Lewis Richardson and Mark Ridout. Clock has counted down to 0 now. I think we'll get the checkered flag at the end of the lap. So they're going to come up. We'll watch them across the line, I think. There's another course vehicle, I think, that is just heading out onto the circuit. Possibly that was the medical car, another vehicle that's headed out onto track. But now we should have the checkered flag hopefully in the hand of the marshal on the finish line to bring this race to an end. There's the David Redshaw car, number 11 for the 42-year-old from Sheffield, a Chief Technical Officer for Atos Defence. In his 2nd season of racing, he was talked into racing by Pete O'Connor. It's a car that's prepared by Hustle Motorsport, and the car, the red, white and black livery, it plays tribute to both Sheffield United, the Blades, and Trinidad and Tobago's national flag as well, apparently. There is the checkered flag. It is a win for Jack Kingsbury then in round 5 of the VSG Crypto Clio Sport Championship. 2nd place goes the way of number 30, Darren Ransom. 3rd is number 12, Matthew Hipkins. That is his best ever result, his first ever podium finish outright. 4th goes the way of 297, Jan Whittaker. 5th, number 72, Pete O'Connor. 6th, number 92, Mark Ridout. So what happened to Lewis Richardson? When did he drop back down to 16th? I managed to miss that somewhere along the line. Mark Ridout was 6th. 7th was 55, Justin Griffiths. 8th, number 111, Nick Harrison. 9th, number 18, Mark Witherington. And 10th was number 14, Jack McConnell. So it's Ridout that wins in Class A. I must admit I've completely managed to miss what happened there to Lewis Richardson.
Well, did Lewis and Mark Enoch tangle?
Did they tangle?
Were they together in the order?
It may not be completely impossible.
They might have only been a car apart, if they weren't nose to tail. So perhaps one has been delayed with the other going into the barrier. But quite sensibly, we were focusing on the sharp end of the field, so the camera had swung round to watch them up Clay Hill just as Enoch arrived on the scene. But it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Lewis Richardson was involved with that.
Indeed. Meanwhile, it's, 3:15 in the afternoon here at the 750 Motor Club race meeting at BMW Live, organised by the BMW Car Club. So lots going on the infield, including in the Fogarty Moss Centre. So do head over for that and have a look at the cars. I think there's about another 3/4 of an hour as well to run on the taxi rides, the PH Drift taxi rides over on the infield as well. So do sign up for one of those. There might still be a chance to get out there. And of course, Sporting Bears have been running these dream rides all day in some very special sports cars and BMWs there as well, raising monies for Zoe's Baby Hospice with a 10-mile route around the Cheshire lanes to enjoy and to raise money for that very worthwhile charity, Zoe's Place Baby Hospice there in Liverpool. So it's going to be a little while because it's a long slowing down lap before we get the cars to Kieran Mogg. So we'll be with him very shortly for that. A reminder that there's still more racing to come here this afternoon. We've got the BMW Car Club Racing Championship up next. And then we've got the Armed Forces Race Challenge, the Race Parts Historic 750 Formula Series, and the Ultimate BMWs. Now I'm just seeing as well some penalties appearing on a screen here for false starts. And I'm just trying to work out who they're all for and if that's going to affect anything in terms of overall results. I don't think it is particularly. Ah, right. I think I can work out what's gone on here. Because one of those 10-second penalties was to Lewis Richardson, and that has dropped him down, way down the order.
I mean, the 10-second penalty when there's a safety car is a nightmare situation.
It's a horrible penalty to have.
So it's a 10-second penalty for...
false start, we think. Yeah, so that is why Lewis Richardson, and he didn't actually lose places on the road, but he did get a 10-second penalty. That hadn't appeared on the time and screen during the course of the race. But he has got a 10-second penalty for a false start, as too has Joey DePrato, and that's also dropped him back a handful of places as well, outside the top 10, so that's a shame for him. So, yeah, a couple of drivers getting 10-second penalties for false starts. I did say at the time it looked like a good start for Lewis Richardson, but that's really cost him because it's dropped him from 1st to 8th, whereas in 7th, I should say, within the class, whereas in a normal race, which isn't finishing behind the safety car, you might get away without losing as many places as that. But of course, when they all come across the line in a queue, there ain't nothing you can do.
No, sometimes, you know, knowing that you've got a 10-second penalty mid-race, so if the team can communicate that to you somehow via a pit board, then you can up the ante a little bit. But then if the safety car comes out, you're just going round nose to tail. So a 10-second penalty that might have cost you 3 or 4 places, all of a sudden drops you, well, it's well over 10. I can't remember where he was on the road now, 5th or 6th?
It was, what are we, 5th, the 6th, wasn't it? Just ahead of Ridout.
Okay.
It's all disappeared from our screens now as well.
Yeah, but Ridout was 6th across the line behind the safety car, so that's dropped him 10 or 11 places.
Yeah. There you can see the marshals and just checking out the barriers there at Knickerbrook. They'll be making sure those are safe, ready for us to resume racing again. Chris Lawrence's car is being recovered as well, and that will be heading back towards us. The cars are now in the assembly area, though, or park firm, I should say. So hopefully we can head down now to Kieran Mogg, who's going to have a word with our top drivers in the Clios.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's a shame way to end that race. You know, it's obviously showing up to be very, very good. So the Enoch car has just come in over there as well. But in the meantime, we've got the class winners. We're going to take a quick chat here with Jack Kingsbury. Jack, if we just get you to come to the front for me. That was, obviously a fortunate way to end the race, but still quite good while it was on.
Oh yeah, it was a great race. I made some changes after race 1, put some fresh tyres on the front because those were about 6 races old by now. I knew that was the problem. Managed to make the jump on Darren at the start, and then he was quick in certain places. He kept closing it, I kept opening the gap. Really good race, and then obviously that happened, and not the way to finish a race, but it's still a good result for me, so I'm happy with that.
Was it just the tyres that you changed for the second race?
Yeah, just the tyres, yeah. I weren't sure what the problem was to start with, and I was like, thinking about it, I was like, they've been on there way too long, and it was a different car then. I was managing to just pull the gap where I could.
Nice way to end the weekend, though.
Pardon?
Nice way to end the weekend.
Oh yeah, great way to finish it.
Absolutely, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you very much. Right, we'll take a quick chat with Mark Ridout. If you come over here for me second. So having a bit of an issue with the signal, so we can't come to you, unfortunately. Right, so right in the middle of the pack there, class winner. Went well.
Yeah, winning class was news to me. I didn't realise that Lewis got a penalty, so yeah, we had a good battle. Unfortunately, the race was quite short because of the safety car, but yeah. What can I say? A win's a win, I suppose. So, yeah, happy. Yeah, been a good weekend.
Yeah, it definitely has. And obviously, you know, you're usually towards the front of your class and everything. This year, competition looking interesting?
Definitely, yeah. There's some really quick drivers in this, and yeah, I've got my work cut out for sure. I'm really enjoying it, to be fair. So, yeah, see how the rest of the year goes.
So, go again for the next one?
Yep, look forward to it.
Cheers, thank you very much. All right, we'll take Darren Ransom now. If we could get you to come forwards for us, Darren. Close, but not quite.
Yeah, I didn't quite make the same start as I did in the first one. I hit limiter second. Yeah, and that was all there from then on, really. Jack, he knew where to back it up and where he was quick and where I was. It just won a good race, and then the safety car kind of ruined it a little bit. I was a little bit quicker than him out the start, the first corner. cascades down the back. So I could have maybe had to run at him there, but it would have been tricky.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good race. Yeah, happy with the first one. That's good points again. Yeah, happy.
100%. Obviously, won the first one, second in the second one. Championship's looking maybe.
Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, we had a win at Croft, 2/3, so it's looking promising this year. It's nice to make a good start to the season.
Absolutely. Congratulations, and hopefully continue the form.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you. Right, if we could get Witherington next, here he is. We could just jump in a second. So, busy race?
Very busy race, yeah. So first overall podium, so yeah, really happy, over the moon, yeah.
No, congratulations, you got to...
So yeah, they're all on the beers now, so I'm ready for a couple.
I'm not surprised, obviously, fantastic support you have back there.
Yeah.
They're all cheering as well. Cheers, guys. So obviously, fantastic support, your first overall podium. Got to feel great.
Oh, fantastic, yeah. It's a shame about the safety car at the end, but other than that, it was brilliant. So yeah, real buzz, absolutely loved it. The car's finally getting there, so yeah, we're coming on.
Absolutely, well, congratulations, and hopefully we'll continue the form.
Yeah, thank you very much, cheers.
Cheers, thank you very much. All right, we can try and get who's going to be next. Matt. Hello. So, talk to us about your race.
Yeah, I got an amazing start. I hung around the outside the first corner, got a few starts, and I sort of settled in. To be honest, most of the race was sort of follow the leader, and I made a big mistake down the back straight, which allowed Nick to get past me. And then, yeah, we had sort of a battle of the last couple of laps, and obviously brought out the safety car. But yeah, awesome. I love this track. Sort of second race back since I had a massive crash at Castle Combe, so I'm sort of finding myself. But this track is nothing better. It's a real races track. All the fast and the tricky. Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a shame that it was cut short slightly with the safety car, but you say it's one of your favourite tracks?
Oh, it's got to be up there, yeah. So we had Croft a few weeks ago, and Croft's probably number one, on level with this, yeah. Love it, absolutely love it here.
And obviously gives you a bit of a confidence boost going into the next one as well.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, I think it's under review, the position now, but I think I've 3 podiums in 3 meetings, so up to that I've done 3 seasons with nothing, so I've got a roll somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you. And last but not least, if we could try and get you in here. Yeah, go on then, well, why not? A quick word with you. So, again, very busy race, unfortunately cut short. Tell us about it.
Quite frustrating, really. I made a mess of turn 1. Chris got round the outside of me, turn 2, inside to turn 3, and then I just lost loads of places. We had a couple of laps, then obviously safety car, and I sat there, bloody hell, just thinking it wasn't going to restart again. And obviously it didn't, and then, pulled in and got told I got second because of issues. And I was like, good, all right, fine. Yeah, very surprising. I had good pace in race 1, and I thought I'd go better in that race, and it was a bit annoying how it ended, but yeah, all good.
All right, well, hopefully for the next one you can continue the form.
Yeah, that's the main thing. The car's running well. We've had so many issues with technical bits and bobs, malfunctions and whatnot, so just keeping it running, keep finishing races and keep improving. Yeah.
Absolutely, congratulations.
Nice one, thank you.
Cheers, thank you very much. All right, so that's it for the Clios